Hello and welcome everyone to Dax Electronic Repair. I'm going to be doing an iPhone 11 screen replacement today. Here's an iPhone 11. It has a broken screen. The insides you can see. You are not supposed to see those. Alright, perfect. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take the two bottom screws out to get the screen off of there. Broken screen. That is a P6. P2 Pentalobe 2 bit to get your screws out of the bottom. There's one on each side. Once you get them out of there, you're going to want to get some kind of prying tool. I like a razor blade. Sometimes you can start on the side. It's probably better off to go on the bottom right there. I'm going to pop it just up enough for you to get a plastic pick in there. You don't want to go too deep on these. There are electronics and other connectors and ribbon cables that you don't want to slice through. So really you're just popping it up enough for the screen to separate. Just go around the sides like that, and be careful on the side with the power button because that is where all your connectors are. Do not yank this off of here. Kind of pry and pull that direction and you'll be able to pop it out. As you can see, there's 3 ribbon cables connecting the screen to the phone. A couple of them we're going to be replacing with this new screen, but the top one is for the camera and face sensor, that sort of thing. So you do not want to mess that up and break that. Otherwise you'll be having to do some micro soldering. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start to undo all these screws that hold the ribbon cables. You can see right there, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I will point them out here in a second. That's what I'm doing. Alright, now this is a special bit as well. It is a tri-tip. It is a 0.6 millimeter or Y000. It is specific to the iPhones. A standard Phillips bit will not work. Do not try it. You will strip these screws. Alright, so that gives us access to pop all these cables out of here. The bottom 2 right there are for the screen. And that top one is for the top face sensor, camera, that whole assembly that we're also going to be switching to the new screen. Once all 3 of those are taken off, you can remove the screen. Now we're going to go ahead and that little L bracket right there, underneath that is the battery connector. You do not want to touch anything while the battery is connected. You will short the phone out. It will become a piece of garbage or a paperweight, and a very expensive one at that. So go ahead and get that. Pop that off of there, and underneath there is the battery connector. Plastic. Plastic does not make sparks. Sparks are bad. Alright, battery is unplugged. I like to bend it away like that, just in case. I'm also showing you how I make a pattern so the screws all go back in the same place. They are very small. They are very similar, but they are different sizes. A lot of them are. So what I'm doing here is just testing the new screen. This is a very important step because it will save you a lot of hassle. You're going to do all this work and you got a broken screen. then you have to start from the beginning, and that's not anybody's fun times. Perfect, that worked. So now we're going to go ahead and grab the old screen, because we do need to go ahead and transfer the top speaker, flood sensor, this whole assembly up here. It is specific to the iPhone. It is paired to the motherboard. So we got to transfer it over if we want everything to work properly. All right, so that is one. That is the one screw on there. That is the tri-tip. The other three that you see there are a Phillips, a very small Phillips. I believe it's a 00, but whatever fits. That one did not. There you go. Again, I'm making a pattern exactly where the screw comes out. It's going to go to that same hole on the new screen, because a lot of the times these screws do have slightly different dimensions. And you want to get it right. All right, now there's one last step here. There's a little clip that's holding the sensor down on there, and you got to kind of pry it up. It's on a little bracket, and it goes on a little tab in there. We're going to transfer that as well. It keeps everything in place. Now all this stuff up here is adhesive to the old screen, and it is connected by very small ribbon cables, so we don't want to yank on it without getting a little bit of heat in it, so the adhesive comes up without tearing anything on the ribbon cable assemblies. You'll see here once I pull it up how small these little cables are. They're real easy to tear. Little tiny cables. Alright, just kind of clean everything off there. Try not to touch anything. There are little sensors. You don't want to get any of your oils from your fingers or anything. So we're done with the old screen. That goes in the recycle bin with the other ones, and we're going to go ahead and transfer everything onto the new screen. You can see there it has all the screw holes and places as the old one. So we're just going to line up our sensors. Each one has a little hole that it goes in, and it sits in there. As well as a little bracket that holds that top one on. We're going to have to grab that and put it back on there. As you can see, it's very small, and it just clips in. We press down on it, and it holds that sensor in. Flip your speaker assembly up, and we're going to go ahead and get all these tiny screws put back in. There's the 3 Phillips, and then we have the 1 tri-tip. It is very, very small. It is very easy to lose. Be careful, and if you get it in there in the wrong way, it will spring out. Beautiful. Alright, so we got everything assembled on the new screen. Now I'm going to go ahead and get all the old adhesive around on the frame itself off of there all around, because we're going to be getting ready for the new adhesive slash gasket. Take a little bit of time here. It makes it much easier and it gives you a much better fit and finish. When you're going around, be careful. There are tabs that if you are not careful of, you will pop up. They do ground and connect things, so be careful. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and test again. Now that we have the face sensor and microphone and earpiece and all that good stuff on, because it is better safe than sorry. And the battery is right under there, so you just gotta push it in. This one we're just making sure it powers on. Looks good to me. All right, perfect. Oh, careful. I feel like we just talked about this. You gotta be careful with these things. All right, here's our new gasket slash adhesive. Some screens come with this, some screens don't. If they don't, buy it separately. It is not, I would not guarantee waterproof with it, but it's going to make a lot more resistant, and it's going to make the phone stronger as well. This one has a couple layers, and you just kind of want to go around as you pull the backing up. You want to kind of squish it down so it doesn't come with you, because once you get it stretched out and not in place, it is very hard to get back into place. All right, there's our final little factory cover. Take that guy off. That's a little screen suction thing I have, but I like to use it to lean the screens up, so it's not exerting any force on the wires while it's kind of sitting in that awkward position right there. All right, so I'm making the final connections for hopefully the final time. All right, battery. And I don't want to stick it down yet. I want to do one more power test. So I put my plastic tool between it to make sure it doesn't stick all the way down. And finally, we're going to put all of our brackets back on. Same as what we did before, just in reverse. We're going to go ahead and pull the battery one more time, plug it back in. It's a lot easier to do that bracket and get all the screws in if you have the screen ribbon cables undone like I just did. So we plug the battery back in, we put the ribbon cable to the side there, we get our screws in. All right, Then and finally then we get our screen cables back on and put our plate back on. Remember, put the screws in the holes they came out of. Too long of a screw can short things out, can break screens, all sorts of bad stuff. So just be careful. Rule of the day is be careful. Probably should have sped this up, but I didn't. So here we are. I hope you're having a good day. Of course, if you're watching this video, you're probably having a bad day because your iPhone 11 screen is probably broken. The good news is, if you go slow and you follow these steps, it is relatively simple to fix it. Alright, last screw. Now, when you do this, you want to put the top in first. There's little brackets that line up. Just kind of want to squeeze it together. Starting at the top, go around and down, ending at the very bottom. And the final step is to put our 2 screen screws back in. As so. Beautifully done. All right. And finally, power that pink bad boy on. Apple screen. Heck yeah, we did it. Heck yeah, guys. Guys and gals, we did it. Thumbs up, double thumbs up. Thank you so much. And I love you.